Bom Dia, and welcome to Brazil, and welcome to Sao Paulo, the biggest city in Brazil by population, and the biggest city by population outside of Asia. In fact, the fourth largest city in the world by population, and as such the biggest city in the Western Hemisphere, in all of the Americas. It's my first day here in Sao Paulo, my first day in Brazil, and yeah, let's check it out. No more vamos. Now it's Brazilian, Portuguese, and my Portuguese ain't that good yet. It's pretty improvised, but we'll get along. Vamos! Right guys, it's been a dream of mine for a long time to come to this country, to come to Brazil. Now I'm finally here. And I'm really buzzing to be here. And the city of Sao Paulo is certainly one of the most interesting cities in the world. Now some interesting facts about this city. This city has the largest economy by GDP in Latin America and the 23rd largest in the world by GDP. And is a commercial and business hub of international global importance. And the street I'm walking in right now is the Avenida Paulista, which is the economical core of the city. And so far what I can tell you already about Sao Paulo, I've arrived yesterday in the afternoon. The traffic here is renowned to be the worst in the world, up there with the worst in the world, and that's true. It took me 3 hours to get from the airport to my hostel by Uber. 3 hours guys, 3 hours. The traffic here is horrendous, check it out. What I can already recommend you guys when you come to Sao Paulo is to take the metro. I've just used the metro for the first time. It's reliable, it's clean, it's cheap, costs like 80 cents or something. So when you come to Sao Paulo, use the metro. And obviously there's a lot to do here, maybe too much to do even. And I'm surely not going to be here for long enough to see everything. But yeah, we'll try to see as much as we can in our time here in Sao Paulo. And Portuguese, by the way, I never studied Portuguese, but I've got loads of Portuguese friends back in my country. And as I speak Spanish, Portuguese is super close to Spanish actually. It's like, I mean, it's a different pronunciation for all the words, but it's basically the same language. Instead of muy bien, they always say muito bom, muito bom. Everything here is muito bom. And apart from buenos dias, instead of buenos dias, they say bom dia. And apart, instead of eso, this, they say isso. So there's not a huge difference between Spanish and Portuguese. Here's the police for you guys. The police of Sao Paulo. Paulista police. And yeah, this guys is like the economically strongest street of Brazil. The city, this street in particular, the Avenida Paulista, represents about 11% of the entirety of Brazil's GDP, which is pretty astonishing. The Avenida Paulista here is arguably one of the fanciest or the fanciest in Brazil. The city of Sao Paulo is also a cultural hub. It's full of museums. It has the most museums in South America. Not in Latin America. In Latin America, number one in terms of museums is Mexico City. But in South America, Sao Paulo is the leader in terms of museums. And here in Avenida Paulista, you'll also find many museums. If you're into museums. I'm not that much into museums, but yeah, you might be. Oh wow, looks beautiful. To be fair, the outside of Sao Paulo looked pretty rough When I arrived yesterday at the airport and drove by Uber to my hostel, which took 3 hours, which I've already said, I've seen some rough places. But the center of the city and the Avenida Paulista here seem pretty nice. Sao Paulo. You've got to speak Portuguese now. Olá, bom dia. Bom tarde. No tengo. Well, yes, Portuguese and Spanish are basically the same thing. I mean, when you read it especially, Historias Indígenas. It's the same as in Spanish, Historias Indígenas. Here it is Historias Indígenas. Another museum, as we can see here. This might be some history museum or something. Olá, bom dia.
Bom dia.
Bom
De
dia.
que país?
De Luxemburgo.
Luxemburgo.
Sim.
Meia maratona. Maratona.
Sim, maratão. Oh.
Meia maratona.
Fuerte.
Cuidado, Brasil. Ó, cuidado, bicicleta. Pode pegar, ó.
Bicicleta? Ok.
Cuidado, aqui bicicleta. Pode pegar, ó. Aqui,
Ok.
ó. Ladrão, polícia. Fique esperto, cuidado, tá?
Ok, cuidado, sempre.
Bicicleta, moto. Pá.
Ok.
Não, cuidado.
Sempre
ó.
cuidado. Sim.
Sempre cuidado. Passou a bicicleta, guarda.
Ok.
Senão eles dão um bote, ó. Vai embora.
Ok, sempre.
Cuidado, tá?
Obrigado.
Nada.
Bom dia.
Bom dia. Fique esperto.
Sim.
Aqui, ó.
Bom dia. Well, guys, you've heard her. As always, this seems to be a common thing in Latin America, that people on bikes are trying to steal. They always say that people on bikes are trying to steal, to rob your phone and your camera, and to watch out. But yeah, guys, I think we're going to be fine here in Avenida Paulista. And check out these massive buildings, guys. Wowzers. And this street is full of them. Brazilian Financial Center. Check out this fancy building. This looks to be something else. And of course, as in every big city, as in every mega city, loads of homeless people as well. Everywhere, even here in the fancy Avenida Paulista. The city is also a cosmopolitan hub, an international cosmopolitan hub. As such, believe it or not, it is home to the biggest Arab, Italian and Japanese community diaspora in the world. You didn't know that, did you? I also wouldn't have thought of that. And as such, the city is renowned to offer loads of great foods, loads of great culinary options. Great Italian food, great Japanese food, and great Arab food. So I guess we could go for some sushi or some pizza later on. It's been a long time since I had sushi or pizza. The buildings here in this street are truly something else. Literally one fancy building, one skyscraper next to the other. when you come to Sao Paulo, guys, never take buses and don't use Uber or taxis during the day. At night you can always go by metro. The underground is the best way to get around, the quickest way, and probably also the cheapest. Well, surely also the cheapest. Here you've got your Decathlon. Wow. It also seems like they've got malls everywhere here. This is already the fourth mall that I've seen so far. Wow. The traffic here, guys, is the worst I've seen in my life. Worse than Istanbul, worse than Bogota, and worse than Lima even. I wouldn't like to be a driver here, to be honest. Shout out to all the Uber and taxi drivers in Sao Paulo. And I've never seen as many Starbucks right next to each other as here in this street. I can tell you that. This over there is like the 5th Starbucks I've seen in the past 500 meters. It's crazy. So for Starbucks lovers, you surely won't get starved here. You surely won't starve of your frappuccinos and cappuccinos here in Sao Paulo. We're now about to head up to one of the best viewpoints in the city.
Eu apago, é que eu acho que entrou um monte já. Mas ele não veio, depois você...
For some very inexplicable and childish reason, the very childish security guard told me to put my camera away. I still managed to get this footage behind his back though. This 10-second footage. Obrigado, bom dia. The city here also has a pretty international vibe to it. I mean, of course, the language that you hear the most in the streets is Portuguese, of course, but apart from that I've also heard quite a lot of English already, and a bit of Italian as well, and also some Asian, some Chinese or Japanese, which is pretty normal if you consider that this city has the biggest Japanese and Italian diaspora in the world. An amazing fact, actually. I was pretty stunned when I read about that because I had no idea about that. If you have watched this channel for a while, then you might know that I only drink 3 things, which is water, beer and coffee. And Brazilian coffee, let me tell you, is up there with the very best. Before coming here, I would have told you that Mexico and Colombia had the best coffee, but Brazil might have changed that. Brazilian coffee is flipping delicious. Best coffee in the world, Brazil, Mexico, Colombia and Turkey. And Italy, of course. As this is the biggest city in America, bigger than New York, bigger than Mexico City, places like this can come in handy, quite handy, because as you can imagine, the city can be a bit overwhelming, especially for first timers and first dayers like me at the moment, like me today. Despite all of that, I have to say I like it so far. So far, I like it here in Sao Paulo. Now let's go for some lunch. What's pretty funny here in Sao Paulo is that the city has a huge Japanese influence. I mean, I didn't expect that at all. And you can see many Brazilians here with Japanese football shirts, for example, with Japanese national team football shirts. And also, you see a lot of people that look like a mixture of Japanese and Brazilian. I've seen some pretty hot girls already that seemed like a mixture of Asian and Brazilian, and wow, I did not expect that at all, to be fair with you guys. Sao Paulo. Now guys, as this seems like the most Japanese place in America, in Latin America, I could not resist to come to some sushi place. I mean, I came in here and the sushi, I hope my camera picks it up, looks delicious, and yeah, we'll have some sushi now. It's been ages since I had sushi. Obrigado. Obrigado. This seems like a kind of entry here, which I've already got. And yeah, we now have some delicious sushi. Obviously not the cheapest meal you could have, but I'm in the mood for sushi now. And I think this is one of the best places, if not the best city, to eat sushi in the Western Hemisphere, probably. Right guys, my sushi has arrived, check it out. It looks flipping delicious. We've got some nigiri, whatever they're called, makis, some sashimi, some wasabi, I love wasabi, some soy sauce over there. And yeah, I reckon, as this city is so massive and so Japanese, unexpectedly, there's probably a lot more cheaper places in this town, in this city, to eat sushi. This is not cheap. I mean, it's 16 sushis for about 16 euros. So, cheaper than in my country still, but yeah, not cheap. But yeah, as we are here in like the economical hub, the business center of Sao Paulo, and one of the richest streets in Brazil, I think it's normal to pay a bit more. But I've now been around here, and as the city is so massive, of course you just cannot get around from A to B in like 10 minutes. So we just take it now. We'll enjoy our food, enjoy our sushi. I'll tuck in now and tell you how it is. Well, it looks flipping delicious. Let's get to the tuna first. Get some wasabi on here. Tuck it into the soy sauce. I always like to do that. So let's check it out. I don't know how to say provecho in Portuguese, so yeah. Still, I'm going to say it in Spanish. Provecho. This is quality, guys. This is quality, hands down. I've never been to Japan. It's a dream of mine to go there. So far, I've never been. But I reckon this city is the most Japanese outside of Japan. So, I think, I'm just feeling like I've never had sushi before. That is the first time I've ever had sushi, actually. Hands down, I've not had sushi in like months. On this trip I didn't have sushi. I don't know when was the last time before that I actually had sushi. In my country it's just too expensive. And I've never had sushi of that quality that I've just had now. I feel like if you want to go to Japan for the culture and the food, if you're a foodie who loves sushi and wants to go to Japan only for sushi, you should rather come to Sao Paulo. Man, I'll also go to Japan one day, but Japan is so expensive, I couldn't afford it up until this point. But, man, this city, surprisingly, is so Japanese. I didn't expect this. Another fun fact about Brazil, guys, is that Brazil uses the European clocks. I was absolutely stunned when I found out yesterday that they use the European clocks here. It's pretty funny. All over America, they use the American clocks. And in Argentina, they use the Asian clocks. And here in Brazil, they use the European clocks. Pretty funny. The two biggest countries of Latin America, use different clocks. Pretty amazing. There's another sushi place, guys. Literally, every 100 meters, every block, you've got another sushi place. This is the most Japanese city I've ever been to, because I've never been to Japan. There's also some Japantown here in Sao Paulo, the city. I might also check that out with you guys, not today but another day. You might also head there. In Argentina they've got the biggest Chinatown, and here in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, they've got the biggest Japanese town in the world apparently. Pretty funny. All the Japanese come to Sao Paulo and all the Chinese go to Buenos Aires. And let me tell you one thing about Sao Paulo, it's flipping hot here. Flipping hot. It's obviously not a coastal town, and it's super hot here. But there's so many people here that look like a mixture of Asian and Brazilian. It's so funny. I had no idea that this place was so Japanese. When I read about it this morning, I was like, wow, I was stunned.
Excuse me, it's very dangerous for you to use your equipment in the streets.
See?
Yeah, don't do this.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're gonna
Here
be
as well?
robbed. Yeah, everywhere. It's very dangerous.
But here it's like a safe area, Avenida Paulista.
No, it's not safe. People
No?
go with bicycle, take your equipment and go away. Take care.
I would then watch out for the bicycle drivers, the bicycle drivers.
It's very complicated in Sao Paulo because
Okay.
people are with motorcycles, bicycle, running, take your equipment and go away. Take care.
Okay, I'll take care. Thank you. Wow, you see guys, we're the second person today that tells us to watch out for the cyclists. Sao Paulo, the city of the robbing cyclists. Are you from here, from Sao Paulo?
Yeah, from here.
Yeah.
I'm from here. So take care.
And you look like
I'm
Japanese.
Japanese, but my grandparents are Japanese. Yeah.
Ah, yeah. Because I've just said that there's many people in Sao Paulo that look like a mixture of Japanese and
Yes,
Brazilian.
yes, we have a lot of different cultures here.
Yeah. I've just had the best sushi in my life, like, because I didn't know that the city was so Japanese, and it's so Japanese,
I
like
think it's the largest
Japanese community
yes,
in the world.
yes.
Yeah, crazy. Not any thieves around so far.
Yeah.
I reckon in a big street like this, the Avenida Paulista, I think we're gonna be alright. I reckon Sao Paulo is super dangerous in the outskirts. The outskirts of Sao Paulo are obviously considered one of the most dangerous in Brazil. And I might skip going to one of these places because they look super off. I've seen some yesterday when I drove by Uber to my hostel from the airport, and they look super off, to say the least. Well, here I don't think we're going to be in trouble. Okay, obrigado. So I've arrived in this fancy mall here now, looking for an SD card, because I'll need a new SD card for the reminder of this trip. I've run out of them, and this one is not going to last forever. It's my last SD card, by the way. And as I'm filming quite a lot, I reckon that it's not going to last for more than a week. And I reckon that Sao Paulo is the perfect place to get a new one. I'm still in search of an SD card, and I've been told that I could find one around here. Damn, this street here, the Avenida Paulista, is impressive to say the least. And this here, guys, is like a Japanese house of culture. I mean, look at these buildings, wow. This is one of the biggest business streets, commercial hubs in the world. Surely in Latin America it is the biggest commercial hub. Yeah. See. Muchos, sí, entiendo. There's another one warning me about the thieves on the bikes. Still haven't met any thieves on bikes so far. But yeah. People here really, like in most of Latin America, seem to be aware of thieves. I want to warn you about thieves. Right guys, I've just found out, I've just discovered the first thing I don't like about this city and this country. That ATMs here, most of the ATMs here, and most of the banks don't accept foreign credit cards. I need cash to buy my SD card. I found a good SD card now, but I didn't have enough cash on me to pay it, so I need an ATM. I need more cash. And now I found out that most ATMs here don't accept foreign credit cards. Only particular ones. The dodgy ones, the dodgy 24-hour ones. Not the big banks. The big banks here, they don't accept foreign credit cards, which is something I've never had in any country I've visited so far, whether in Latin America or somewhere else. I've never had that problem anywhere. And yeah, that's definitely a negative thing about this country. Not a plus point for Brazil. But yeah, now I'm heading to that 24-hour dodgy ATM to withdraw cash and then buy my SD card finally. I've been to 3 different banks now. My card never worked. And yeah. Right guys, this right here are the only ATMs that accept foreign credit cards. So let's get some cash. And let's hope it's not going to be too expensive. Wowzers. They charged 4.5 euros. 4.5 euros for the withdrawal. So every withdrawal costing me 4.5 euros. I reckon this is going to be the priciest part of this trip so far. Brazil is surely going to be the most expensive part of this trip. I might be broke one day, but that is not today. Let's enjoy it. Apart from that, I really like it so far. Apart from that, so far it's muito bom. Finally got my SD card, guys. So now we're ready to go. Took me a long time to find it, but now we're ready to go. Obrigado. Well guys, I don't know how many times I've used the word bom today. The word good. They say bom for everything, or bom. Tudo bom, muito bom, boa tarde, bom dia. They used to do it all the time. But yes guys, it was a good day. And yeah, exploring Sao Paulo's business district and one of the richest streets of Latin America, maybe the richest street in Latin America. And now I think I'm gonna end the video by showing you guys the metro of America's biggest city. Let's go! Vamos! Wanna know what the metro looks like in the world's 4th largest city? I'll show it to you. Well, as you can imagine, the underground system here in Sao Paulo is massive, to say the least. It takes ages to walk underground from one metro line to the other. Now, after about a 10-minute walk on the ground, I've reached my metro line, our metro line I should say, the yellow one. Oh, yeah, very crowded. But what you expect from a city as big as this? 12.3 million people live here. I haven't told you that yet. So yeah, now you're about to find out what the metro actually looks like, the underground. Oh man, it's crowded. But many people get out here in Paulista, the business center of the city, so it's a lot less crowded now. Right guys.
Excuse me, where are you from?
Soy de Luxemburgo. Morocco.
Oh, that's nice. Are you recording for YouTube?
Si, si.
Where's your YouTube channel?
A new subscriber.
Subscribe to it.
Yes,
So,
new subscriber. Something which everyone is welcome to do that watches these videos. Well, anyway, I want to speak about the metro. The metro is great, it's not smelly, it's modern. And yeah, shout out to Sao Paulo, one of the best metros I've ever used in my life. Better than London, better than Paris, and better than Mexico City. Right guys, quite honestly, Sao Paulo, as I've said, has one of the best metros I've ever been on. And I've been to some big cities in the world, and Sao Paulo is up there with, I think after Delhi, I've been to Delhi once. It is the biggest I've ever been to. And best metro, check it out. I mean, modern, not smelly, not too crowded, and reliable and fast. And cheap as well. A one-way ride costs like 60 or 70 cents in euros. So 80 cents in dollars approximately. And yeah, highly recommend it. Right guys, so this is a good moment to end the video. The first video from Brazil and the first video from Sao Paulo. It's been a great day, great first day here in this very interesting, gigantic country and in this gigantic city obviously. And I'll see you guys in the next one. In the next one from Sao Paulo or somewhere else from Brazil. See you soon. Ciao, as they say here in Brazil. Right guys, as it is so hot here and as I'm feeling hungry again after all that walking, well, I thought I should end the video with one of the best things that Brazil has to offer. A refreshing and filling, delicious Acai. Check it out. I found this place yesterday and I'm already back. So, I'm gonna talk into this now and I'll see you guys next time. And when you guys come to Brazil, you should absolutely try Acai. So, and I've just found out how to say provecho here in Brazil. In Portuguese they say bom apetite. So, bom apetite and ciao. I'll see you next time. Muito bom!